Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Tigers franchise mode here in MLB The Show 21. So in last episode we simmed the rest of the season, and actually we had a pretty good season by comparison to last year. As you can see here in 2021 we went 59 win 103, so a pretty bad record. But just this season we went 70 and 92, so we ended up going up by 11 wins, which is pretty good. As long as this team continues to get some good development in terms of winning games and actually developing in terms of the prospect pool, our team is going to eventually make the playoffs, which is pretty nice. Our prospect pool is also looking really good. I showed you guys this at the end of last episode, but in case you didn't see, by 2027 they say that guys like Gary Harris is going to be like an 87, Bryant Packard an 85 potentially if they develop well. Fernando Valdez maybe an 87, which would be awesome because he'd probably be a really good hitting player. Then Brujan potentially an 86. Our starting pitchers would look really good as well by 2027 because you got a 97 in Manning if we keep him around. McElroy 92, 89 for Wentz, 87 for Mize, 86 for Jordan. We look like we have a pretty good prospect pool already. It's a little bit weak in terms of third baseman, so that could be something we'd look for in the draft when we get there, or maybe even at the Rule 5 draft. Maybe we could pick up somebody if there's somebody better than what we currently have, which is probably Candelario. I don't know if we're bringing him back or if he's hitting free agency or what. And yeah, so pretty much that's that. And yeah, I think our team is going to be a pretty good team when we get to this point in 2027. So let's do some off-season stuff, but the first we got some comments to go over, and the first one is from Dylan Burrows. He says, also, sign and trade some of these guys. You could search for prospects, not all of them, but I'd say 30% of all baseball uses weird contracts. Check out the box salary guide and don't be afraid to sign a long-term for now deal like Ramos, and when somebody is ready, then trade them and bring them up. Contracts won't stop teams from taking them because of how common long contracts are. So we'll probably re-sign guys like these three guys right here, Ramos, Fulmer, and Teheran, and we could probably just trade them away at some point when we get a young guy in that we want to take into that spot instead. So we are going to tender a qualifying offer, I think, to Ramos. Yeah, we'll just tender a qualifying offer to Ramos and to these guys as well. This gives us a little bit of an extra couple roster players, just because we don't know for sure if our young guys are going to be ready to go, and I would rather these veterans play until the young guys are for sure ready to go, and then as Dylan was saying, we should just trade them away when the young guys are ready. So for example, Jackson Reitz could technically play over Wilson Ramos. If for some reason Jackson Reitz is a higher overall to start the season, we could always trade away Wilson Ramos or use Wilson Ramos as our second option. Okay, and then our next comment here is from, actually also Dylan mentioned that Johnson, who we drafted in the draft as well, could be a good bench bat. The 67 overall guy, I think, if I look at him, I can't remember what position he played. Oh, there he is, Jonathan Johnson. Yeah, he says this guy actually might be a good bench option just because he's got really good contact hitting against left-handed batters. So that might be a good option as well, yeah. I could see that technically we could always play him potentially. Obviously, he's not going to grow to being that high of an overall, but he could still develop into being something good. And also potential can go up, so maybe he will improve with some time down there. And we could actually move him to double, I think. And then we'll move this dude down to single A. I've been trying to work this around just to make sure everybody's in the right spots. So, and finally, our last comment to go over is from Troy Mitchell. He says the way to get around the longer contract is to give them 2 years with the team option, and then if you don't want to bring them back, you could just decline the option. So it's pretty much like, I think, the NBA, because they have player options and team options. So we could always do that when we give contracts. And I also asked him about how he thinks our prospect pool is, and he says that he likes Valdez and he could be a great power hitter. Hara could be a good 2 or 3 spot player, and then McElroy, he's very excited to see how he progresses. He also mentioned that we could look into Seth Beer, as he is a good young player. I don't know what team Seth Beer is on, so I will have to go to the player search. Is I remember, at least I watched 2E's streams, so I've seen him in Colorado, but I don't know if he's actually in Colorado. So we'll look up Seth Beer for a second. So Seth Beer, 77 at 25. Yeah, he wouldn't be a bad option at all, probably for the outfield. At the moment, I don't know if we really need a left fielder, though, that doesn't play center field or right field, because technically I think we need right fielders. But if we want to, at some point, we could trade for Seth Beer. He's with the Diamondbacks, okay. And then also Troy quickly mentions also to you when we look for new managers this offseason to try and not have any minuses if possible. So that's exactly what we will do. Okay, so anyways, let's get into the rest of this. So we just qualified all those guys, so we will sim to the first free agent thing. I don't know if we're going to really make any free agent signings again. I feel like I would just rather develop almost via prospects and via maybe the Rule 5 draft, but we'll see. So we need to add some players to our 40-man roster. A lot of these guys do have potential, but I don't know if we need to add them to our 40-man because I don't know if they'll get claimed or not. Some of them we can. Definitely we're going to add Packard because Packard is 72 at 24. So I'll go and add Bryant Packard to our 40-man roster. And then who else do we got here? John Lacey is a 24-year-old. Nick Ames. I feel like a lot of those guys might not reach their potential because they're 24 and like 65. Actually, we'll add Appleton at least. Where are you, Appleton? Because I would like to not add like guys like McElroy and stuff to our 40-man yet, just because I would rather have them develop still for a little bit longer. We could add Lacey because he's 24, but the rest of those guys I don't think are going to get claimed. I don't feel like any of these guys are actually going to get claimed. Is that all the players that are on the 40-man are not on the 40-man? Let's just go to the bottom of this. How do I see who's not on the 40-man? I have to go to here. Is he eligible to be stolen? Yes, he is. We actually should just look by potential players. So John Lacey does have B potential, but I don't know if he would be claimed, to be honest. I'm just gonna add him to the 40-man in case, just to make sure, just since he has the actual potential. Anybody else that we should probably put in there? Maybe Gonzalez, because he's a 68. So we'll add Gonzalez, since why not? Actually, I don't know if we need to add Gonzalez. Well, we could, but Colvin is already on there. And then Nunez, Valdez will be on there eventually. Yeah, I don't know if it really makes sense. Yeah, I don't think we need to put Gonzalez on there. He's already 28. Yeah, I think that's all that we're going to add to our 40-man roster. If Gonzalez gets claimed, it's fine. But the other, like, 4 players I don't think are going to get claimed, to be honest. Because they're low overalls and kind of middle-aged men. So we'll leave that. And then let's go to our tendered contract situations. So Fernando Valdez, he's getting his first contract. It's going to be another 1-year deal because we can't give him multiple years. At 110K. Actually, we'll give him more than that because he's the top prospect. Why not? Chauncey McElroy also going to get a good deal. 1 year. We're going to talk him down to that. Bryant Packard. What does he want? 130K as well. We'll do that. We'll do 130K for any of these guys that actually want around that much. Like, I know I could give these guys multiple years deals, but some of them I don't think I can. Garrett Hill, 1-year deal. And then let's go to the bottom of this list for a second. I just want to see who's down there. Yeah, so some of these guys are going to be let go of, but some of them we might sign anyways just because they're younger options than the veterans. Conroy, 1 year, 110K. Moreno, 1 year. As long as we have some guys that are ready to go for like AA and triple. Relatively cheap contracts. Gerald Martin, one of another prospect of ours. We'll give him a 130K. Diego Corona. Man, I'm really excited for a future with a lot of these young guys. We could give Gonzalez a contract even though we technically don't need to. Luis Garcia, another one of our prospects that we traded for. Yeah, I'm really excited. We have a lot of good prospects in mostly every position. There's going to be some positions like third base that I was mentioning that we need to probably address, and right field. So we'll probably look forward to those in the draft. Like, I'll probably get to the start of the regular season in this episode and show you guys the draft class again and whatnot. So we'll probably sim through spring training. Pretty much just going to re-sign everybody. I wish there was like an option to send like a contract to everybody, just because there's always a lot of contracts you have to go through in this. Like, by comparison, the NHL it's ridiculous how much contracts you have to hand out, but it's because you have like 3 leagues to manage, kind of, to an extent, I guess, in this. But yeah, hopefully a lot of our good prospects develop. Blackwood's only 26, so we'll give him a contract. Yeah, a lot of these guys are still in their 20s, so might as well just give them contracts. And I know I could give some of these guys longer term deals, but I don't think it's worth it to an extent. Obviously, our top prospects are going to get longer contracts once they are a little bit older. Morgan's only 25. John Lacey is going to get a contract as well. But yeah, I'm going to have to set up our organization when we get to the start of the season. So I'll probably have to do that actually after spring training. Actually, no, I shouldn't do that after spring training. I should do that beforehand. Just because we want to make sure everybody's in the right spots. Because I don't think I want to be playing guys like Chauncey McElroy already this season in the MLB. I would rather him get a chance to play in AAA, because last season he started in AAA, but he wasn't great. And then he all of a sudden played in AA. And he killed it. Like, he was like 6-1, I think. At least last time we looked. So I think it makes sense to play him in triple this year. And then that way he continues to develop, and then he'll be like an MLB ready pitcher by maybe next season even. I think probably next season, because I think he had a 2023 ETA if I'm not mistaken when we drafted him. So there's all those contracts. We should be able to get all those guys back. Salary arbitration. Now these are the tougher ones. So Nico Gundram, I think we'll get back for now as well. We could always trade him away if need be. So I could offer arbitration, but then he has a chance to sign with other teams. What does he want? He wants 5 years at 32.5. That's not terrible, I would say. I don't know how to read really MLB contracts, but we could give him a... Yeah, let's just give him a 5-year deal, but then he's going to want like 35.5. I could do that, I think. And then if need be, we could trade him. He's been a pretty good player for us in terms of batting average. His home runs and RBIs aren't as good, but he's still a really good shortstop, I'm pretty sure. And then we got Grayson Grenier. The rest of these guys we could just offer arbitration to. Yeah, I think we'll just offer arbitration to everybody pretty much. Just because at least that way it gives us back some older roster players. And like I said, I could trade them if need be. Zerno's 33. Like, I'm fine with giving these guys at least 1 more year. Harold Castro is the guy that could get multiple years, but I'll give him 1 year. And then Buck Farmer 1 year as well. There we go. So those guys are all arbitration offered, and 1 contract sent out to Nico Gundram. I think we are good. So let me actually take a look at what's available in free agents. A lot of guys are getting qualified though, which makes sense. Colton Wong's the best player that's not qualified, but we probably need a third baseman if we want to, but I might take one in the Rule 5 draft instead, just because it might be a bit younger. Kyle Seager's a bit too old. Yeah, there's not really any good third baseman available this year. I don't even know if we're going to make free agent signings or what. We'll see. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Okay, so let's see. So that's good. Let's go Sim 2 Free Agency 2. We should be... Let's go to... Back to that contract. Let's skip. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like... Actually, we do have still the handout at Chauncey McElroy contract, so I'll give him a little bit more. Just because Chauncey's going to be the best man we've ever had, probably, for pitching. He might even be better than Myers, probably. And then Lacey, there you go. Just give you guys a little bit more, just to get those contracts out of the way. And salary arbitration, yeah, it looks like we got Gundram back, which is good. So we are in free agency 2 now, I think. what is their roster looking like again? So we got our starting pitchers. So, yeah, Chauncey's gonna stay in triple, I think, for sure. I could always call up Scooble. Yeah, I might play Scooble this year. Yeah, I'll move Scooble to the MLB just so I know what I have for pitchers. So these would be our starting pitchers, I think, next season. It's a little bit better than last year, I think. McElroy would still be in triple with a lot of these other guys, which makes sense. I think I would actually move Franklin Perez. Maybe I could move Perez to double. Maybe I will just leave Martin there for now. Relief pitcher wise, we look pretty solid, I think, for now. Closing pitcher wise, we look pretty solid for now. I don't know if we really need much in terms of actual free agents. I could play Valdez in the MLB this season, but I think I'm going to wait one more year, which might be a little bit risky, but I think I'll wait one more year while Renato Nunez is still playing, because Nunez has... Oh no, he's going into his second year of his contract. Eventually we might have to flip Renato Nunez, and then we could play Valdez. But I think we could use a second baseman unless there's one getting signed right now. Brujan's is 70, and I don't know if that's good enough. Yeah, I think we could use a second baseman for now. And then we could probably use... Yeah, we could probably use a second baseman, at least. So let's go to free agency. Is there any second basemen that are not qualified? Yeah, there's Colton Wong, but Colton Wong's 32. Not that that matters, really. I'm looking kind of for like the younger options to an extent, but there's not really any good younger options. I could always find one in the Rule 5 draft if need be as well. Do we want to bring in Colton Wong? I mean, he might be just a solid player to have as a veteran player for now. His contact is really good, which makes sense. He's also a good outfield player. Or do we want to bring in Adam Fraser? How much are they wanting? $16 million for 1 year. I don't know if I'm going to make a signing. I think I might wait till the Rule 5 draft, just because I don't really like signing free agents for some reason. Let's see him a little bit more. And we're still waiting on this dude. We'll just continue to offer him a little bit more. And these guys are all offered arbitration, which is good. Let's see. Second baseman, still Adam Frazier's there. Starling Castro, Yeah, I don't think we're going to make any signings again this offseason. I don't really trust myself when it comes to free agent signings, so... And I like to develop our prospects first and use them first, so... Terrain has accepted, Fulmer has accepted, and Ramos has accepted. We have 42 mans on our 40-man roster, which means we need to take 2 players off of it. So in that sense, let's go to our 40-man roster, and the bottom of this, Lacey, he would be exposed to the Rule 5 draft, but I think he's not going to get claimed. Oh, he'll go through waivers. God damn, the waivers thing. I forgot about that. I could just remove Derek Hill. Yeah, I think I'll remove Derek Hill. I think he'll go through waivers too, right? Yeah, he does. And that will mean one more player needs to be removed from this roster pool, which I think in this case we'll just do John Lacey. If he gets claimed, it's not the end of the world, I don't think. Actually, we could move Alex Fado maybe. And maybe I'll just drop Lacey. I don't know if he'll get claimed because he's technically a Rule 5 player. So we'll remove him from our 40-man. There we go. Okay, so that is good to go. Let's zoom to the next free agent, Stanza. And John Lacey did get claimed by Texas. Well, at least we have a decent amount of starting pitchers that would probably be better than he was in the next few years. So I don't think that's a major loss. But we'll find out about that in the future. What do you like to stop sibling? Let's take a look quickly. Okay, so that's all good. Those guys are still arbitration offered. That looks good to me. We could use a right fielder, but I don't think I want to bring in Will Myers. Yeah, I don't really want to sign any of these guys. So, okay, let's sim to our winter meetings and get to that Rule 5 draft. And the Twins are offering us a trade. Let's see what they're offering us. So they're offering us Frank Ramirez for Renato Nunez. So who is Frank Ramirez? First and foremost. 71, 21-year-old. C potential only. And I don't really like his potential. He's got good contact hitting, but his power is not really that great. Vision's pretty solid. His batting clutch is pretty good. But he's not really a good fielding player. I don't think he's really that good of a player, to be honest. Like, he could play shortstop as well, but he does not look like he's that good. Like, he could steal bases and stuff, and he could hit contact-wise. But pretty much everything else is kind of a toss-up. I mean, he is a 71 at 21, which is not that bad. If we look at our second baseman pool, actually he would be a roster player for us. But then we'd have to get somebody off our 40-man roster. I think. Well, actually, that would get rid of Nunez. Yeah, I don't know about that. Because I could play Valdez in the MLB this year. I don't think I'm going to accept this deal, but if you guys think these are deals we should be making, let me know. Because I'm not really sure what to look for when we get offered stuff. So, let's continue to simulate. We'll probably sign a second baseman at the start of next season, or we could already do so right now, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll just take one in the Rule 5 draft. Yeah, I think we'll just take one in the Rule 5 draft if there's a good one available, which I hope there is. So let's get to this Rule 5 draft. Go to draft. And see what we could grab. We didn't even have a pick. Why didn't we not have a pick in the Rule 5 draft? What's the ruling behind that? I guess we don't have a pick in the Rule 5 draft because we already have 40 man on our roster, or what? Huh, never mind. I guess we're not getting a second baseman in the Rule 5 draft. I guess maybe it's because we had 40 man already, or what? Yeah, it's probably because we have also 5 guys that are waiting for contracts. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think we're going to... we could sign Starlin Castro. If I give Starlin Castro a 1-year deal, he wants a contender, though, is the only problem. I'll give him a $7 million contract for 1 year. See if he wants to come here. Just because our second baseman, I don't want to be really playing Brujan yet. Don't think he's ready. And we must have signed him because they are telling us we need to drop another player off our 40-man roster. Which in that case is going to be Daz Cameron, I think. Yeah, yeah, it's probably going to be Daz Cameron. Actually, we could drop Buck Farmer from it, but Buck Farmer's been playing in the MLB with us for a little bit. We're actually going to remove Buck Farmer, I think. Maybe not. He might get claimed. Daz Cameron's going to get claimed probably if he goes through waivers. Does he have any minor league options? He does have one more. So I might be actually able to without waivers. No, there is still waivers. Goddamn. Yeah, we'll just move him down. Move down. Boom. He's probably going to get claimed, but whatever. Those are guys that I don't know if they're going to be really much of anything for our future anyways. So the Braves are offering us a trade now. Todd Huff for Luis Garcia, which I'm not doing because I'm not trading a prospect. So thank you anyways for that offer. And let's see. Renewable contracts, which is at almost spring training, which we don't have anything. Did we get Castro though? Let me just check that. I think we probably did. Yeah, we did. Good. We do have 2 extra players in the MLB, which means we got to move some players down. Which in that sense, I'm going to move Colvin down to triple, which means I got to move this dude down to double. If I go to triple, I already go through waivers. No, he doesn't. It's one of his minor league options. Okay, good. Okay, so we got to move down 1 more player, move 1 player down to single A. And 1 more player down from the MLB to triple A, which in that case is going to be Grayson. Wait. Move to AAA. Oh, he's on 40-man stuff. Okay. What else can we move down? Closing pitcher wise, that is fine the way it is. Yeah, pitching's probably fine the way it is, right? Yep. Okay, we need to go to third baseman for a second. Bob Montez, I would probably want to play him. Akil Badu, can I move him down? I know Akil has good potential and all. Yeah, we'll move Akil down to triple. There you go. I'll go with Sim to spring training. And so Jose Cisneros has signed with us. Good. Buck Farmer has signed. Grenier has signed, and Castro has signed, and Jimenez. Perfect. Yes, I would like to stop signaling. I didn't even realize because it didn't pop up that we needed coaches. So we need a first baseman coach. We actually have a lot of guys with minuses, especially this pitching coach. So I actually might fire this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna fire this guy. I didn't even realize how bad some of our staff is. Oh, there's another bad one. We're gonna find some new staff. So pitching wise, let's see, is there anyone with not a lot of minus? This one has minus 3 Ks, but that's not that terrible. Yeah, I think we're going to do the one with the minus 3 Ks because that's probably the best one. So we'll just give him that. He'll probably accept because there's no other teams probably looking for coaches right now. And then we'll get our first baseman coach, which this guy looks actually pretty good. He is 65, but went on. And then finally, we do need also a third baseman coach, which we will get this guy. Perfect. Now we'll sim to spring training. Those guys are probably going to all accept, which they did. And I think we are good, right? Yep, we are good. Let's sim to spring training. There we are. And let's see what we got for our rankings right now. 26th rank, 7th contact, 29th power, 23 pitching, 24th in defense, and 24th in speed. Not that bad. We are improving, it seems like. And yeah, I think that's good. Let me see. Chauncey's in triple, still good. Yeah, I think everything's probably going to be ready to go. Let's just take a look at our pitching rotation. So right now they say Turnbull, Wentz, Manning, Mize, and Fulmer, which I think is kind of fine. Fulmer's actually a relief pitcher, so, but he's got good stamina, so he could be a starting pitcher, I think. But yeah, that looks pretty solid. We could always move Turan to it since Turan's an actual starter, but yeah, that's pretty much our pitching things. And then lineup wise, it's not full yet, but it looks pretty solid, I would say. It's not horrible. Let's actually sim to the regular season, I think. We do got our contract extensions. How much do we have for this? Not that much. I think we will already offer contracts, though. Actually, maybe not now. We could do that in the next episode, but I will offer some contracts to guys like... Actually, I'll wait for Casey Mize, but if any of you guys think we should let go of any of these guys, let me know. I'll probably give a lot of these guys contracts back just for while we wait for younger prospects to develop, but I'm not going to do that right now. So, there's the contract situation. Let's sim actually to the regular season, just because I want to take already a look at what's available in the draft class. So, what do we really need is the thing. So we could use pretty much anything, almost left field, center field, right field, shortstop, second base, starting pitcher. Okay, let's take a look then at this draft class, and we will sort by accuracy. So these are the blue chip prospects this year. Claudio Castro, we're not gonna have actually a top pick, so we might not even get one of these blue chips. He's probably gonna be more of a project, I would assume. And then Manuel Quesada, also more of a project. Like, a lot of these blue chip prospects don't look like they're gonna be that good out of the gate in terms of overall. Yes, they all have 2027 plus, but we do have still all these guys to scout. Like, we do need a third baseman, but this third baseman looks like trash right now. So let's actually take a look by position. So second baseman wise, there's, or not second baseman, starting pitcher wise, there's all these guys. that are scouted so far. This guy might end up being good, but he's 23 already, so I don't know if I like that. There's our relief pitchers that are available. I don't know if this draft is going to be as good as last year. Probably not, just based on the quick glance and the fact that we don't have a lot of guys scouted yet. But if you guys see any like kind of young player that you think might be intriguing for us to scout, let me know, because I think we need probably to address a lot of positions still just for the future to make sure we have the good depth. This guy's probably going to be the top pick, I would assume, but who knows. He might be the second pick. You can never really tell with the computers or what they're going to get first and whatnot. But yeah, there's not a lot of third basemen in the draft, which kind of sucks because we do need a third baseman for the future. These guys are probably all going to be pretty bad. So we might need to find somebody that has like a second position of third base. So like Manuel Quesada could play third base. But the only thing is I don't think we're going to have that high up of a pick this year. Yeah, this draft doesn't even look like it has that much prospect. Like, a lot of these fielding options only have like 1 to 2 players and whatnot, so it might not be a very heavy draft. Like, starting pitcher wise, it might be pretty heavy, but the rest of the positions, there's not a lot of players. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Tigers franchise mode. So next episode, if you guys think we should be making any trades, let me know. We might make some trades. We might do, we'll probably get simmed up to the draft at least, so we can kind of take a better look at those prospects and see what we best need. But our team is shaping up to looking pretty solid. It's going to take a couple more years before we actually start being competitive with this team, but I am very excited for the future of this team. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.